All right, what is up, ladies and gents? Jason Ward back at you again for another video. Ward's Way to Fitness here. So, today I wanted to talk about what is the best diet. And before we even get into that, I'm going to tell you right now that there's no answer, right? There is no one best diet for every single person. All right, like what you need to understand is that it doesn't matter what the dietary style is, it doesn't matter what the rules are. If you can't stick to it, it's not the best diet for you, right? Compliance is the science, as Stan Efferding likes to say. And I tend to agree. If you can't comply with the diet, then it's not the right diet for you. So just because you heard keto's the greatest thing ever does not mean that keto's going to work for you. Maybe you heard that Whole30 is just the best thing since sliced bread. Well, you wouldn't be able to have sliced bread on Whole30, but you got to get the point, right? Like there are all these different dietary styles, and the reason that all these styles exist is because each one of us has such unique needs. So your goals, your activity level, your parents, like so your what factors in your epigenome are being expressed, all of these things are going to affect how your diet affects you. So you have to do a little bit of self-experimentation to figure out how it is that you need to eat that's going to get you to your goal. Now, there are certain things that seem to work well for most people, and that's why you'll see similarities in a lot of different dietary styles. So it's my personal opinion that you really have to equate your protein regardless of what diet you choose. If you're not getting enough protein, it does not matter which dietary style you're using, it will be suboptimal. This is also assuming that you're training, right? If you're not training, you might be able to get away with a little bit less protein and still see results. But if you're in the gym, you need that protein to help you build your body and to recover between your workouts. So the next point that I want to talk about is high carb or high fat. Which one should you choose? And the answer, of course, is that it depends entirely on you. Do you find it easier to stick to a high carb diet or to a high fat diet? If you want to do high carb and high fat, then you're going to be in trouble. That combination does not seem to work for anyone. That seems to be across the board. So if you are following a more vegan or vegetarian style diet, you're going to naturally need to have a higher carbohydrate intake. So you're going to have to naturally have a lower fat intake if you want to make progress. There is still a base level of fat that your body needs in order to function properly. So you need to make sure you're getting the essential fatty acids that you need if you're going to follow a higher carbohydrate diet. So then it's a matter of playing with the numbers to get you to that right zone where you're cruising straight ahead. All right. Now, high fat diets like keto can be very effective as well. And they tend to be more satiating. So people often say when they do keto or some iteration thereof, like carnivore or whatever, that they don't feel hungry as often. And that's because there's a satiating effect from carbohydrates, or not carbohydrates, fats and proteins together. Okay, so when you consume fats and proteins, it will make your body feel more full as it takes longer to digest those two things, right? Fiber is also very satiating. So if you're eating something that has a lot of fiber in it, you'll also get that feeling of being full more easily, okay? So that is one of the ways to make complying to your diet easier, okay? If you want to feel like you're not hungry all the time, those are the two choices, right? You either need to increase your fiber intake or you need to increase your protein and fat intake. It's one of those two. If you can do either of those things, then your diet's going to be much easier and you're going to be cruising a little bit closer to easy street. It still will probably never be easy. If you're trying to lose weight, it's not an easy task. It's a simple task. All you have to do is create a calorie deficit, right? It's that simple. Eating enough protein, and then, like I said, choosing either high carb or high fat. You can't do both. Then you will have an easier time of reaching your goals. Okay? There are a lot of people who will try to promote balance, and I think you can't really balance carbohydrate and fat. That's not the best strategy from my experience. There are some people who do very well on that. So if you're that person and that diet is working for you, keep doing it. I will never tell anybody to stop doing something that's working. Right? If you're following a diet and it's working for you, keep doing it. But if you're following a diet and it's not helping you reach your goal, why are you still following that diet? You need to stop and reevaluate what you're doing and figure out maybe there's another strategy I need to incorporate. Okay? So I have heard tell of vegan, vegetarian, keto diets as well. So you don't necessarily have to be high carb if you're doing keto. Or not doing keto, if you're doing vegan or vegetarian. I don't know a lot about that. I haven't done any research there, but there is that possibility as well. So if you are vegan or vegetarian and you'd like to try keto, there are ways to do it. I'm just not familiar with how they work at this point. Might do a little bit of research into that to help out some of my clients if they are so interested. So as I stated at the beginning, which diet is the best is going to be entirely dependent on you. All right. So what's your goal? If your goal is to build muscle, you're going to need to eat certain foods. If your goal is to lose body fat, then you're going to need to eat different foods, right? The key in every single diet, though, is that you have to equate for protein first. Make sure you're getting enough protein. This is the number one most important thing. And it seems from my coaching that this is one of the hardest things for most people. It's one that I've never personally struggled with, but I have always loved to eat meat and have found it hard to cut back when I need to lose body fat and I might need to cut calories. I often have to pull meats out of the diet, so dropping my protein intake down because I'm just eating too many calories. So once you equate for calories and protein, then you get to choose. Do you want to do high carb or do you want to do high fat? And those are relative terms, okay? Like high carb or high fat, people kind of get this idea that maybe they can eat as many carbs as they want or as many fats as they want. And that is not the case. You still have to stay within your calories, right? So you figure out how many calories you need, calculate out your protein, and then you fill in the rest basically however you want, right? Well, with the exception of if you're choosing the high carb option, that you need to hit a certain minimum threshold for your fats as well, making sure you're getting all the essential fatty acids that your body needs for your brain to function, for your hormones to function, to make sure that you are functioning on an optimal level. All right. So that's the short and sweet of it. Although I don't know if 8 minutes is really a short talk on dieting or not. Hopefully this information has helped you guys. If you need more, feel free to drop me a message, leave a comment below. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you guys on my next video. Have a great day.